Right, let's talk controversial opinions as a wheelchair user. I'm in my comfy weekend clothes, and I just felt like filming this because this video's been brewing for a while. So let's just get straight into it. A disclaimer before I start. Obviously, I am merely one wheelchair user. These opinions are not everyone's opinions as wheelchair users. If you've got a differing opinion, please let me know in the comments. Just be respectful of everyone. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So, my first controversial opinion as a wheelchair user is I don't like it when people specifically kneel down to speak to me. Now, there are exceptions to this, which I'll explain, but it really just triggers me going back to school where the teacher gets as close as possible and like looks into your eyes and you're either getting told off or you're getting told what to do and it's really intense. And people often like hold on to my chair and that's quite personal. To me anyway, that's a very personal thing to do because my chair is part of me. So when someone kneels and they're like bobbing up and down, because really they can't stay on their knees for that long. It's just awkward for everyone involved and but again, just my opinion. I would much prefer, like these exceptions that I'm thinking about, I have got a bit of hearing loss and, I don't expect everyone to be able to communicate greatly. If, I'm around tall people, they might not be able to hear me too. So I think the best thing to do is to find a chair, park next to me. Let's have a convo that's still, you've got your space, I've got mine. I just think that is the perfect way to do it. Just to be like, I'm just gonna go get a chair, I'll be right back. So, yeah, that's my first controversial opinion. It triggers a lot for me, and I really appreciate personal space. And I think when you're a wheelchair user, people just think that they can grab your chair or try and push you or think that like you don't know where to be or what to do. And I've been using this chair since I was 2 years old. I'm very capable. And don't touch me, please. It's not really that controversial, is it? Like, don't touch me. Think that's pretty fair, to be honest. Controversial opinion number two is that I don't mind someone asking me if I need help. However, again, there are exceptions, and I actually think it's quite complex. And I know that this divides the community a lot. So for me, I think I don't mind being asked if I need help, but I am asked if I need help a lot of the time in my day. Like, I'll probably be asked about 5 times minimum from strangers if I'm okay. And sometimes I'm literally just like existing. Like, I'm just looking at a shelf and someone's like, can I pass you something? And I know that's controversial because people are being nice, being kind. But every time someone does that, it's a reminder that people are seeing you as different. And I know that some people will be watching this thinking it's not that deep. And it isn't that deep in that singular moment. But when you're constantly being asked, can I do anything? I don't know, it's kind of like I'm always performing for people to show them that I'm capable or that I'm absolutely fine, don't worry about it. You're kind of always being watched as a disabled person. So I know that like people mean well, people are being nice. I guess the best scenario for me is if someone's working in a shop and it's their job to help people and assist people, the best thing that they can say to me is, let me know if you need any help. Because I think sometimes people see disabled people as like they've literally just been dropped into society and like they can't cope. And it's like, I don't think I would go out if I didn't think I'd be able to do what I needed to do. Do you know what I mean? Like this example I've said before, but like I went to Liverpool once and stopped in a hotel, and this older woman just literally said to me, "Are you on your own?" As if I was like a lost 3-year-old. And I just went, "Yeah, are you?" Like without even thinking about it. And she was like, "Oh, I'm with my husband," and pointed to this other man, and I was like, "All right, cool." Like, it's that thing of constantly being seen like you don't know what you're doing. So, in the grand scheme of things, when someone says, "Do you need any help?" it's not that deep. But I guess everything that I do and the work that I do, I try and remind people that there's so much backstory and there's so much context to people's lives that we have to deal with. That sometimes just thinking about what you're saying before you say it can really help our day. So I hope that helps. And I hope you can kind of see that it's not that controversial to just sometimes want to be left alone, or, you know, if you ask someone, do they need help, and they say, no, thank you, just carrying on with your day. I've had a lot of people who say, like, well, I'm only trying to help. Almost like they're embarrassed because you said no. And all these situations, I think people don't quite believe that this happens, but honestly, this happens all the time. All these scenarios happen. I should really just record my day, but I also don't like recording people in public because I wouldn't want to be recorded. So, anyway, my final controversial opinion is, and this is controversial, I've wanted to do a whole kind of video on this, or some kind of documentation to fully explain my reasoning behind it. But I just don't think I could ever create something that would fit everything that I wanted to say. But it's basically that intention doesn't mean you can say anything, and it doesn't excuse your behaviour, especially when it comes to microaggressions or saying something that might hurt someone. Just because you mean well, it doesn't mean that it's okay to say. And I get this all the time. If you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I do moan about people saying, don't run me over, or what happened to you, or I'm so glad I'm not like you. And when I do my talks and my training, I get a lot of people in the audience will say, oh, well, as long as you mean well and you're not being malicious, then I think it's fine. And it's almost like non disabled people want to stick up for each other because they know that it's so easy to say something accidentally offensive. But it's almost like you have to reassure yourself. And I get it because God, there are times where I've said things and I think, oh my God, why did I just say that? And I think what I'm learning at 30 years old is I've had to deal with those, oh well, never mind moments daily. And it's decreased my confidence, it's given me anxiety, it's led to horrible comments online, like all these little, what is it? Death by a thousand cuts. And it's all those little moments that happen in your life that when non-disabled people, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes disabled people might say to you, oh, they don't mean it, just ignore it, or don't concentrate on that, think of something else. It can be so tiring and consuming that it's all you can think about. And then you start to think of, you might see people in the street and you might be second guessing what they're about to say to you. They might be looking at you up and down and then they might say, oh, how many miles does that go? And you just, you're constantly kind of waiting for those comments that you're usually used to. So, yeah, I guess the controversial opinion is you know, intention does matter, but I think we have to move past that and think about the consequences of things that we say. And that's not to say that we have to be nervous about what we say or, we're second guessing ourselves, but we have to take ownership of what words do and how powerful they are and how we can better communicate with people. And yeah, I guess just taking ownership of the effects that humans can have on other humans. And it's something I'm really passionate about just because, I just think non-disabled people are so loud and they will push, intention, but actually disabled people are now getting louder online about the comments that we get and how it makes us feel. And anybody that wants to be a better ally for disabled people, I think, asking people what their preferences are for language, apologising if something is said that shouldn't have been said, and not just thinking if one person is okay with something, then all of that group are okay with you saying something that you've said. It's very complex, and I understand that it's so easy. We've said this for so long. Well, good intentions. I hear it on podcasts all the time, and I just think we have to move on with that phrase if we truly want to make sure that we don't cause anxiety, low confidence, othering people by accident. There are so many consequences to good intentions. So, yes, those are my controversial opinions. Let me know if you agree. Um, and like I said, just be respectful in the comments. And yeah, I hope this has given you some food for thought. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to join my community, I've got a Patreon where you can support my work, get early access on videos, and yeah, come and join the gang. But if not, I will see you in the next video. Bye!